Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fast API series. In this video, we will learn how the cookies works in Fast API. We'll look into the detail like what cookies are, how Fast API read cookies, what are optional cookies, and how we can define multiple cookies using Pydantic models. And finally, how to test everything using Postman. So the first question which comes into our mind is like, what are cookies? Cookies are small pieces of data stored on the client's browser, and they are automatically sent to the server with every request. Cookies are basically commonly used for session management, for authentication, and for tracking their various users. Unlike query parameters and path parameters, you can't see the cookies inside the URL. So it's like a kind of a hidden thing. So now first thing is what we are going to do is like we are going to start with the with the first code. First example, so you can see here I have imported the necessary libraries. So you can see here I have a imported cookie, which is the function, and this cookie function is used to uh, define the cookie to add a cookie inside the using the fast API. So and the name of the cookie here we have mentioned as a session ID. You can see here it's mentioned as a session ID. So what happens here is like what I have mentioned here is like it's a kind of a default. We have defined the cookie as a none, which means that it's not important that you specify the cookie. So if you specify the cookie, then it will show that session cookie is received. If not, then it will show that no session cookie is found. So let me run this particular code, and then we can see how does it works. Okay, so enter. Now you can see this is being working. So this is there, and let me slash employees enter. Yeah, so because we have not defined any cookies, so no session cookie is being found. So let me show you this using this parameter. So let me delete everything and let me do the send. So you can see here the message I'm getting is no session cookie found. Now if I have to add a cookie, so I can just say cookie. And then here I can provide a value session ID, because session ID is the cookie name we have provided. So we can provide the cookie IDs like this. Session ID is equal to ABC123. Now when I click on the send button, so it's showing that the session cookie received and session ID ABC123. So this is how we can add a cookie inside the header. You can add it. So yeah, so this was a simple example. Now in the next example, we are going to look into like how we can add multiple cookies. So using the parental models. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to import the library, and I've imported the library. Now then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the object. Now I've got the object. Now I'm going to create a parentic model which will contain the cookies which we want to define, which we want to add. So we have defined here three cookies: session ID, employee tracker, or employer tracker. So these two cookies are a kind of, you can say, optional. You don't need to, even if you don't specify, it's not going to be a problem. But let me show you. Um, and I want a method. Let me create a method. So it's going to return the cookies. So let me save it. So after saving this, let me first clear this. When I'm going to run this command, enter. So again, because since the endpoint are same, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to let me delete this previous cookie. And if I click on the send button, so you can see here, it's giving me an error that the cookie session ID is missing, because this session ID is the kind of a required cookie which which we are supposed to add. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add that cookie here inside the same way, like how I did it. So I'm going to click here. I have to go to the headers, and then I'm going to add this one. And then I'm going to put this as like this. And then I'm going to click on the send button. So when I did the send button, see, it is showing that session ID is this one. But since other cookies are not defined, so it's being showing as a null. Now we can add the other cookies also. So you can do this by putting a semicolon and then adding the other cookies like this. So see here, I have added. Now if I do the send button, so it's going to give me the employee tracker as well as the employer tracker. So yeah, so this way we can instead of reading cookies one by one, we can group multiple cookies into a Pydantic model as we have seen. So yeah, this was about the cookies. And what happens here is like Fast API reads all the cookies, matches cookies name to the model fields, it validates them automatically. And this is very extremely useful when you have many cookies, you want a clean and structured code. So basically, what I would say is like to summarize, cookies are client-side stored data. Fast API read cookies using cookies method using cookie method. Cookies are can be optional or required as we have seen. We can also add multiple cookies and they can be grouped together using the Pydantic models. And yeah, so this is how the cookies are being very much useful when we are talking about the backend development. So thanks very for everyone for watching this video. Hope you like this video. And if you have any questions regarding this topic, please put a comment in the comment section. Thanks a lot.